Hi and welcome to my webinar. Yes, to my webinar about how to become mindful in minutes. Wow. Like I said before, so many people have asked me and I just hope someone else coming. Okay, let's just do this. And just wait a moment until she's there. Wonderful. Great. So as I said, welcome to my webinar, and let me just share my screen. Here we go. Yes, discover how to become mindful in minutes so you can finally gain clarity without having to sit still for hours every day and trying desperately to have no thoughts, or maybe needing to book into an expensive retreat. So that is what I'm going to show you today. And here we go. So you're in the right place today if you are sick of the chaos in your life. If your thoughts and your mind seem to have a life of its own, mine certainly do. If you're ready to do what it takes to get where you want, and if you finally want to sleep well and wake up energized. That was my main reason back then, but more to that later. So here's what you learn by hanging out with me today. Clarity is the foundation to make the right choices for a better life. And stillness is the quickest way to start hearing your inner voice and your intuition again. So really, you probably have made one or the other choice that you're not really proud of. I certainly did. And that came because a lot of those decisions were without clarity, out of chaos, maybe even out of anxiety. And fear is never a good advice giver for anyone. So stillness is the quickest way to hear, absolutely, because there's so much noise around us. And again, because we've made one or the other decision that wasn't helpful, whether you call it decision or choice. I love the word choice because it's all about choices. And so you stopped listening to your own advice. So in the stillness, you will start hearing your voice again. You will start trusting your intuition again. And both of them, meditation certainly is a proven way to get you there. And it doesn't have to take hours, and we will prove that today. I will prove that to you today without a doubt. And what's also important, and if you know me, you know that, is you need to have fun while practicing. And the fun is as important as the silence and the clarity, because if it's not fun, why would you do it again? So it needs to be something that really nourishes you, that brings you fun and joy and ease. And that's what we will also have a look at today. So this training definitely is not for you if you're a complainer and you're just sitting there and don't want to change anything, or if you prefer to wait until something miraculously changes. So if you're on this course because you're just consuming it and just sitting there watching it and like, yeah, she's talking about it, yeah, she's probably right, but I'm not doing anything, well, you're in the wrong course, sorry. So really, it's about taking action, but we're also coming to that later. So if you are one of those who are sure the prince on the white horse to save you isn't that far away, probably not going to happen. And also you're in the wrong course if you get upset or offended when someone gives you 50 plus minutes of their time and free content and teaches you stuff and then makes an offer at the end. So disclaimer, there's going to be an offer at the end. Okay, so let's dive into it. Why am I the one to teach you this? Because I went from burned out to teaching what I love and living a life of freedom. Those of you who know me know that I do. So as you can see in those two pictures, it's really teaching that I love and that I do. And I especially love seeing those lovely smiley faces, those happy faces with, soaking up of what I can teach them with my experience and what I've done over the last years. And of course, having fun. Having fun is so important. And, especially coming out of this long time of depression, it is just so worth so much. It's unbelievable. So I already talked about that. So what's my story? Well, my background is firstly financial. And then from financial, I went into teaching. I taught in Germany, high school. I taught economics, law, and geography. from there, I went into corporate world, into IT, and that was a huge adventure, and it was really interesting. But unfortunately, it was very challenging. So I gained a lot of weight. I dropped into depression and burned out. My sleep was appalling. I was waking up every hour. So that was really, really not helpful. I had to get away from that because I really was just a shadow of myself, really. And those who know me since I came to New Zealand know what I'm talking about. I was a totally different person back then, and that's why we needed to make the change. So I started back then, searching for ways to heal. And then I found, and we're talking 2001, in 2001, I found mindfulness and meditation. And boy, was that a help. It was just amazing. And I started healing myself with that, and I succeeded. So people around me started asking me, can you teach me too? And so I did. And that's how it all started. I then started looking for and started following teachers and mentors all around the world. And I have to say, a lot of those high acclaimed teachers back then in 2001 were much more approachable than they are now. So I really soaked up everything I could and started searching and started growing. And what I can teach you today, it really took me years to really not just know it, but do it and live it and then teach it. So all along the way, as I was teaching, I kept on learning, I kept on growing, and I just found it amazing to watch my students grow with me. And I learned so much. I learned so much on the healing journey, sitting down and actually doing nothing. No, not really nothing, but it feels like it sometimes. So that's me. Fast forward to today. I'm feeling so much more comfortable in my body and with my mind. And I have all those beautiful tools to stop the downward spiral when it occurs. And trust me, it does still. And I have many happy and successful clients. And that in return really, really makes me so happy and proud. I really am. So before we get started right into it, yes, a couple of things to keep in mind, please. Get out of your own way. You know, we sometimes think we know everything and we've tried everything and, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. Please, today, just be open. Just be open. Empty your cup. Be that empty cup. Be that sponge like a child. And just listen. And just be open to the learning. Get out of your own way. Stop all those buts. Stop all those excuses. Why you can't do it, why you want to do it. And it's really, really so important because, you know, mindfulness, the moment the moment I chose mindfulness as my default state, that's when everything changed. The moment I realized it's not about this 1 hour a week or 5 to 10 minutes a day, that's the starting point, but choosing it as my default state, that's when it really changed. And I had to get out of my own way too there. I had to realize, well, I don't know it all. There's so many things I don't know because it didn't work. So far, it didn't work. So stay open. And I stopped defining myself over my busyness because the busyness was the one that brought me down the spiral. Although I loved my job, I loved everything I did, but I exhausted myself. I didn't have boundaries back then. And yeah, just was exhausted. So please, please get out of your own way. Stop excuses, stop the buts, and just listen. And then it's about taking action. So like I said before, you can learn anything, but it's about taking action. You can read 100 books about learning how to swim. You need to get into the water and start swimming, start making the movement, not just reading the book. And even if it's just one action, even if it's just really a baby step, like I'm talking later again about my 5 to 10 minutes a day, it's about taking action. And that brings me to the last point before we start diving into the practice, perfection is your enemy. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. It is always better to start with an imperfect action than to not start at all. You know that old saying with journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step? Yes, it's true. It's true. So develop the mindfulness muscle slowly but steadily. That's why I said, you know, you don't have to do everything at the same time and at once, but you have to start somewhere. Cool. So let's dive into it. The 3 techniques to become mindful in minutes. Maybe I should just spend a minute on explaining what mindfulness actually is. Maybe some of you don't really know that, so or are just assuming what it is. Well, another word for mindfulness is actually awareness, and it's the same. It's awareness. It's about having the awareness of what is, not what happened yesterday or in the past, not what may or may not happen in the future. You know, so many of us define ourselves through the past or through the future, and that's where we make assumptions, where we have preconceptions. So we can't actually see what is right now. And that can cause a lot of stress. And stress is one thing that we don't want, correct? Am I right? Good. So it is about being in the here and now. Right now, right here, as you're listening to my voice. Hopefully not scrolling your handy or playing a game or whatever. It's up to you. It's all about choices. Everything is about choices. But if you want to practice the mindfulness and the awareness, then be here now, fully and completely. So let's get started. Okay, my first exercise for you is one that comes from the yoga. It comes from pranayama, that's the breathing, sorry. Breathing exercise. Oh, by the way, that could be the first one, the first awareness, but not breathing. My green tea. Smelling wonderful and tasting great. Because if you noticed before, I just sculled it down. I just had a sip and I didn't really pay attention to it. Because I gave it a meaning, it was to clear my throat. But actually it doesn't have a meaning. It is tea. And it smells and tastes delicious. And the color is great too. So that's the difference between not being in the here and now, just and being here and now. So nostril breathing. Good. Comes from yoga. And is one of the practices that they're doing really well and a lot. And I also really like it because you actually get to do something while doing it. So what you need to do is this, okay? So you sit comfortably, ideally upright, like I said in the video before. And what you do is you close one nostril, you breathe in fully and completely through the one nostril, the other one. Then you close the other one and breathe out through the other nostril. Pause for a moment. Breathe in through the same nostril. Close that one, open the other one, and breathe out through the other one. So just try it. Do it for a few moments. You don't have to close your eyes. So you carry on while I'm talking. You don't have to close your eyes. You can also gaze just in front of you. That's totally fine. Whatever feels comfortable for you. And what you will realize is, number one, you're actually doing something. So it gives you another point of awareness, the movement of the hand. You need to concentrate, you focus. So this is also training your focus. But what you also secondly will realize is that very, very often the right nostril and the left nostril are not actually functioning the same way. Very, very many people, and I am one of them, one of the nostrils is very often a bit more blocked or not as easy as the other one. That can also come from a physical problem, that there's your nose maybe not just 100% correct straight. Who wants that? So just be aware of that and just feel it and let the breath come and go unhindered and just let it flow. Just let it flow. In into the one, out for the other, closing the other one, and just get into that rhythm. So the ultimate aim is to having that rhythm of breathing. So how does that feel? If you start getting dizzy, then just stop it. And just stop it, and that's fine. Okay? Beautiful. So I hope that made you feel a bit calmer. So that's a more or less a more active practice. But we're coming now to another breathing awareness. So if you just stay sitting there, and I call it 3 deep breaths, but actually it's more than 3 deep breaths. It is actually, you start breathing, you start watching your breath just as it is, without the fingers and anything, just sitting there, having your hands in the lap, feet on the ground. And you just start observing your breath as it's moving in and out of your body at your nostrils for a few more moments. Good. And now I want you to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and this time out through the mouth. So just do it. 3 deep breaths in through the nose, really deep, and out through the mouth. Take your time to empty your lungs. One more time, deep in through the nose, and you will feel your whole body expanding. Your shoulders will rise, your body will expand. And out through the mouth. And really let all the air out of your mouth. Empty your lungs, empty your lungs, empty your lungs. Wait a moment. And then again, in through the nose, deep into the, maybe you can even breathe into the legs, down into your body. And then letting that get out of your mouth. If you want, you can sigh, whatever you feel like. And then wait a second, and then stop. And then watching your breath again, entering and leaving only through the nostrils. The mouth is closed. And see if you already can feel the difference. How through those 3 deep breaths you actually changed already the awareness. You changed already the calmness. You signaled your body, hey, it's time to calm down. Hey, there is no saber-toothed tiger. Hey, right now in this moment, there is no stress. There is just breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And there is a reason why we want the out breath almost to be like a sigh. Because, you know, when we feel stressed, when we feel overwhelmed, when everything is just too much, we sigh. And there's a saying in Chinese metaphysics that sighing is the way of the liver to talk to us, that everything's too much for it too. Too much stress, too much anger, too much worrying. That would be the stomach, yes, but sighing is the language of the liver. So let the out breath be a sigh if you want to. Watch yourself during the day. If your out breath is very often similar to a sigh, that's definitely a sign that you're exhausted, stressed, that you need a break. So give yourself a 5 to 10 minute break then. Just going somewhere, doing 3 conscious in and out breaths, deep breaths. And then just watch the breathing and watch your body and your mind calming down. How do you feel now? How does your breath feel now? Has your mind been wandering? That's okay. The mind does that. It's the mind's job to keep you busy, 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 busy. So if you feel that you are distracted by any thoughts or emotions or noises, just bring your awareness back to that breathing rhythm in and out of your body. Beautiful. Beautiful. You see, and that will happen. It will happen that your mind wanders, and that's totally okay. But that will become better and improve with the practice. And we're going straight from here. You stay with your breathing. We're going straight from here into the next slide, into the next body awareness. You can keep your eyes closed. You can gaze if you want again. So what I want to go to now is so-called body awareness. So while you stay with your breathing for the moment, I invite you with the next breath to bring your awareness to the crown of your head and let go of any tension you might be holding on to there. Just let it flow. Flow down to the ground. Let it go. Maybe you want to use your breath while it's flowing down. That's cool. Just let it flow down. It's almost like a shower. You're washing down all the stresses, all the hardness from the top of your head down your body. And if you want to imagine you're in the shower and let it wash down into the sink, into the drain, and let that go. And feel your forehead. Smoothen your forehead. Let all those tiny muscles go. Soften your eyebrows, your eyes. Feel how your eyes enjoy not having to look at anything, just sitting in the dens. Soften your cheeks, your jaw, and also feeling how the jaw enjoys not having to say anything. Your tongue lies in the middle of your mouth, completely relaxed, where you can feel the teeth. Every in-breath is taking in fresh oxygen. Every out-breath is releasing stress, toxins, and hardness. So contact the relaxing quality of your out-breath as often as possible. Relax your neck. Let it melt away. Relax your shoulders. Make them wide. Let your arms hang loose. All fingers let go. Relax your torso. Relax your pelvis. Relax your legs. Just let them go. If you feel any tightness anywhere in your body, just release it with your out breath. Feel your whole body now, sitting here in the now, being present. Wonderful. Stay with this presence for a few more moments. And you see, these are already 3 techniques you can use. And if you practice them on a regular basis, 5 to 10 minutes a day, you will feel the difference. And if you say, well, Sandra, the third one, the body awareness, well, it was a bit long, wasn't it? Well, if you practice that one, it won't take you that long. It's really calming down in steps. There's also a 7-step meditation somewhere on my YouTube channel that I practice with my beginners. And it's just 7 points you need to remember. But how I'm using, for instance, the body awareness that I just did, it was years ago where I was on an airplane and I was looking for a meditation program to finally sleep, because I actually hardly can sleep on a plane. And then I started, and I didn't find a good one, so I said, hey, come on, you're having one. So I started actually self-meditating. I started hearing my voice in my head saying exactly the things that I said just before to you. And I can tell you it worked. So here we go. I hope you're still with your awareness in your body or with your breathing, because I just thought I'm going to share another one with you. I have a fourth one for you. And that fourth one is called sound awareness. And I have to warn you, it's a very advanced technique. And it's very hard in the beginning, and it takes years and years of practice. But I just want to invite this to you, and maybe you just like it and you just try it, but it's really hard. It's really, really hard. Yeah, because it actually is just sitting down and listening to the birds, listening to the trees, listening to the sea, to the wind, natural, not music or anything, natural sounds that occur. It's really hard, isn't it? Yes. Years of practice, I can tell you that. So just sit down somewhere where you're sitting anyway for 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and listen. What you will become aware and what will make you mindful is that the sounds are something you actually can't influence. They just are as they are. And you are accepting them as they are. And I have someone who's meditating with me in a class in one-on-one, and the neighbors are renovating the house. So we're taking that as our mindful challenge. Really just sitting and listening for 5 to 10 minutes. Letting those sounds wash through you, pass by, as does your breath. So there are really no excuses anymore for not meditating. And if you say, well, Sandra, I don't have 5 to 10 minutes. Really? You're going to the toilet, you're going to the shower at times. Maybe you're driving your kids to school or kindy and picking them up. So just drive there 5 minutes earlier or 10 minutes earlier to pick them up. You get the better parking and you have 10 minutes time to meditate, because actually your car seat is upright. It's a perfect position. And if you're sitting there with your eyes closed or gazed, nobody will really say anything, right? Correct? Am I right? I think so. When you're standing in a queue somewhere, instead of raging that the queue is so long and it takes so long, take the time to listen to sounds or watching your breath. And that doesn't take hours and that doesn't cost anything. So let's recap. There's the first breath awareness that we did, the nostril breathing, where you actually do something. The conscious breathing, where you're just watching your breath and having 3 deep breaths into the body and out of the body and really let go of the old. And then we're having the body awareness, where we're going through certain points in your body, and then the sound awareness. So, and if you're doing this, you will achieve mindfulness in minutes. Maybe not every day, but the goal is every day. So if the chaos is the culminating, is just at the highest, that is where you want to challenge yourself and do this, because then you could do it anytime. So I personally am not quite sure why you're here today. So maybe you're just frustrated that nothing worked out so far. Maybe you're just simply tired and exhausted, and maybe you've heard about the buzz about mindfulness and meditation and wanting to find your way back out of the exhaustion and tiredness. Or maybe you were just bored and wanted to hang out with me. That's cool too. So, but my point is really, mindfulness rocks. Seriously, it does. Mindfulness really rocks. and it can transform your life. And that is something you can really get started with right now. And I want you to also remember, nothing that I'm telling you here today is, I'm telling you because it might work. Possibly. If you're burning the right incense, and if you're saging every day, and if you sit down every day, it not just might work, it does. I'm the perfect example in a lot of my clients too. So it doesn't matter if you're a newbie or anything, and really, you can start right now. And just because I'm on this path longer than you are, it doesn't mean that I'm not practicing exactly those techniques. I love going back to those basic techniques because they're the quickest. Seriously, if I'm chaotic, don't know what to do, like in the process of this launch and this webinar, I'm chaotic, anything, just sitting down, watching the breath. I'm not sitting down for an hour doing a guided meditation then because I've got work to do. So I'm sitting down and choosing to either listening to sounds or listening to my breath. It's the quickest way, seriously, within minutes. So really, some of the big benefits that I personally got was my healthy sleep and a much more balanced life, my reduced anxiety, and I'm way more resilient. I'm way more resilient. So I want to challenge you to help move and inspire yourself, nobody else. So the obvious question now is, what do I to carry on from here? So the thing is really, you have a choice. You can take what you did today and figure out the rest by yourself. That's totally fine. That's why I'm teaching it. I want you to do it. I want you to use what I told you today, and you can figure it out by yourself. Absolutely. You can, of course, hire a coach, maybe me, maybe someone else. That's totally fine. And work one-on-one, which can be costly and time-consuming if you want. But of course, I've got a solution for you too. You can join my weekly meditation course, my Start Making Sense course. So what is Start Making Sense? It is my weekly 45-minute online meditation class, and it's designed to take you by the hand to become more and more mindful in your everyday life. No missing steps, no confusing, and it's the quickest and most effective way to get from point A to point B. So what exactly is it? It's your guideline to a calmer mind. So it's live meditations on Monday night, 7:30. We will start together as a group. We'll start at a beginner's level, and then week by week, we will up our game. You will get the tools, and you will get the tools to like today, to practice during the week on your own. All of the tools that we're doing during the 45 minutes, you can do on their own. They are stacked up on each other. It's a monthly subscription, so you can pause anytime. It's a 24/7 instant access to the recordings. You will get the recordings. You can do it as often as you like. You can do it just bits of it. So, and also allowing with a growing community of smart and savvy meditators to support you and encourage you along the way. So, just imagine being on top of your emotions, being able to let go of the frustration, having tools to deepen your sleep, being calm in the storm in minutes. I'm serious about that. I'm really serious about minutes. And then being the loving, fulfilled self. How would you like that? So, how much will it cost you? Well, there are meditation apps out there for monthly $20. Yes, I admit that. But there is no commitment. There's no live meditations. There's no real people. There's no feedback or tips for us here. You have a person that you can email, that you can call. When I'm in Tauranga, I'm there in person even. A gym subscription costs you monthly around $60, some more, some less. So this is the price you pay to keep your body physically in shape. So what would be the price to pay to keep your mental health in shape? Well, the monthly membership for Start Making Sense is just $38, and you can get access today. And I want you to make a commitment be accountable, show up, and do the work with us together. I want you to take ownership of that. You own it. And I mean, $38 a month is the equal of just 8 cups a month, is it? Plus, here's the thing, you get even more. And also we'll show you something where you can also save money. Your bonus number 1, as soon as you subscribe, you have access to all the meditations that are already in there. It's around 125 that are in there, from beginners to advanced level. And you can dive right into it right the moment you subscribe. And a lot of them are also downloadable as MP3 files. So the value of those over 125 meditations is $1,254, roughly, plus or minus. I've got another bonus because there's a number 1, so there should be a number 2, right? Yes. Your second bonus, if you subscribe in the next week, is the lifetime access to Mindful 8. If you prefer 30 minutes over the 45 minutes, this is your course. It's an 8-week course that guides you from beginner status to intermediate level at your pace. So you can make those meditations at your pace. From beginners, stepping you through different exercises to the intermediate level. In the Start Making Sense, we're absolutely going further than that. But this is also really good, and you can do it at your own pace, and it's just 30 minutes if you prefer to do that, and still come to my live ones, 45 minutes. Practice with us together, ask your questions and everything. But you get lifetime access to this Mindful 8 course, which is a value of $139. And you keep that, even if you unsubscribe to the Start Making Sense course, you will keep that lifetime access to this course and can practice it over and over again. What do you think? Don't just trust my words. Don't do. Ask my clients. Ask my clients. You will find all of those testimonials on sandrasala.com. They're all there. And I'm really happy to have them on here. And yeah, lots of what they write is just really interesting and funny. And I wouldn't say that, but they're saying it about me. And that's just, you know, that's just so humbling. It's just so great. It's just, yeah, wonderful. So let's recap. You get mindfulness, you get affirmation meditations, chakra meditations, mantra meditations, personal growth meditation, and guided journeys. You get, if you subscribe now, over 125 meditations that are already available. You get the 8 weeks of mindfulness course right now when you subscribe. And most of the meditations are downloadable. And yes, I didn't do the presentation, Stefan did. So he said, thank you very much, great teacher. Humbled again, and great. So, and that will cost you $38 a month. Or, if you want, $299 a year. That's a huge saving. That's just almost too good. Maybe we did a wrong calculation. I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. But you need to subscribe within the next week. The card will only be open until next Wednesday. We will close the card on Wednesday. And the reason for that is I want you to go through this course as a cohort. I want to start with you. The first ones will already start coming Monday, but it's okay. If you need more time to think about it and start the Monday after, it will still be a beginner session. So we're starting this coming Monday and want you all to relax and grow together. In these coming weeks, we're all starting on a beginner's level. Also, those who are already longer with me will start, and they like it. They also like going through the beginner stuff. That's why you have 1 week time to decide, and you get all those benefits and you get me as a person, as your coach. I hope you like that. So if you're here until now, until the very end, I think you got what it takes to actually work your way through. And I feel the dog is becoming a little bit restless. She was really good, really, really good. So thank you so, so much for staying with me, listening to me. And I really am serious. Practice that. Practice those things that we said today. And I hope I see you and start making sense. Have a great day. Let me just go. Have a great day. And let's start making sense together. Bye for now.